It's going live.
Breaking news, every city across America is feeling the effects of the recession. The American people are looking for a sign of change. From city to city, black and silver American flags are popping. Record high gas prices, staggering unemployment rate, foreclosures. People
when they see me up in traffic, they say GG open up. Send a plate.
Come on in, y'all. Come on in. I play with what? Oh, you can't stop. 2 o'clock on 4 o'clock on Sunday. So yeah, it's all right. It's a black people show.
Come and get a super cake. Happy birthday. Yeah, I got that super cake. 100-carat bracelet. I use it like a super cake. Home for my city. Home for my city. That one home for my city. Home for my city. Put on east side.
All right. Welcome in. Come on in. I just shut it on down on y'all. Y'all need to come on in and let's talk. How y'all doing? We're going to talk about the housing crisis in Dallas today. I'm used to having the camera down low, so I'm looking low like an idiot when I should be looking high. But okay. It happened. And I'm talking about the economic crisis, the housing crisis, rising rents, gentrification, or as the homie Bobby Muhammad called it, economic genocide. Welcome our guest host. Lele is coming. This is Bab Adetiba.
How y'all doing today? My name is Bab. I'm honored to be a guest here. I'm so down with the den, so I'm just ready to get into it and talk about the rent crisis,
All right, well, I was going to start off with a few fun facts to kind of give context to why this information is important. So there is a big wealth gap in Dallas. There is all across the country because of capitalism. But in Dallas specifically, unemployment is low. But according to reports, pay does not cover the cost of living. And we all know that too well. Access to good jobs, and this is the bizjournal.com, by the way, where I got this information. I'm going to post the links in the comment section when we're done. So access to good jobs, quality schools, healthcare, and safe neighborhoods are increasingly interrelated, making it increasingly difficult. So it's getting increasingly difficult to raise a family, to buy the bare necessities, let alone pay rent and utilities and things like that. And they go on to say how segregated Dallas is and different things like that. But how that goes right on into the main point and the main topic is NBC5 covered how we have just this last Wednesday, the 9th, passed an affordable housing policy that calls for 20,000 affordable housing units to be built, and they will also give incentives to landlords to take Section 8 and those types of programs. So I'm very interested in what you have to say since you're so into real estate and property and stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty bad situation wherever you are. It's pretty much going on wherever, whether you're in Atlanta, New York, California. What's going on is just there's basically a shortage of homes, and most people don't make enough to live in a decent place.
Right.
So that's what's going on, and cities are kind of doing whatever it takes to give different developers incentives and trying to, entice them to come over and build affordable homes. So it's bad. And in Dallas, you know, the policy that came out told us there's like 20,000 short homes. So
right.
Whatever the cities can do to bring more affordable homes and entice people to build, that's what the city is trying to do.
I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna do while they're building these 20,000 homes. what's gonna happen while we're in transition? And they were saying that this doesn't even cover South Dallas.
Right.
How does that work?
You know, there was a similar situation where DASD bought an apartment building to turn into some schools. And it's like 300 families or something.
Mm-hmm.
And this was just October, just this past October. They're asking the same question. You know, what the hell are we gonna do? Why are you tearing down our building and build up a school? And so that's happening all over the Metroplex. It's not just here. And that's what people didn't realize. It's not just Dallas. Like, this is happening everywhere.
Right.
Gentrification, displacement of people, lack of affordable housing, rising rent. It's happening everywhere. So we got to do something about it.
What I find that's interesting is I spoke with helping some people that I know that were displaced by high rent. Like, their rent went up like $300, which is ridiculous. And I want to get, as we get deeper into the conversation, talk about the lack of regulation on that causes that to be able to happen. But I was speaking with a landlord of a property, and he had these interesting, like, day-to-day, the rent changes, and you can either pay a X amount of dollars for a $500 deposit, or just give them $200 or something like that. And the reason why he said that they're doing stuff like that is because they went up on the rent a couple of $100 and nobody was renting it. I mean, you selling these apartments that weren't worth what we were paying in the beginning. You're selling them for $200 more without renovations, probably throw a little paint on the wall, old cabinets, old plumbing, old fixtures.
Yeah, I've seen landlords do like pay $10 extra a month if we repaint your house. I mean, repaint your walls, you know, little petty stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Has nothing to do with like your actual condition. So if you got holes in your wall, and you got like lead pipes, like a lot of cities do where we tend to live. Right. You got lead pipes in it. In fact, their report came out that the South Dallas has lead pipes too. You know, not to the level of Flint, but they have a lot of positive lead testing.
See, we've been doing this for years. They had a big battle for like West Dallas and parts of Oak Cliff. I believe parts of South Dallas as well for years. I don't even know if they're through paying out because of the lead and stuff that's in the water. That's why I'm not surprised at the condition of Flint, because it's to a state such that you can almost see, and I don't know, I don't want to say the wrong thing and get boycotted, but yeah, you can see the effects of the lead in the water.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know, it causes, you know, learning impairments and stuff like that to some families. And if you're drinking it every day, bathing in it and cooking with it, different stuff like that. So these are things that we need to bring to the light, because we hear a lot of reckless conversation going on all the time. We just had this royal wedding that we were all watching, and we all have a right to watch. We got one viewer. Hey, I don't know who you are. You better say hey, share the video, and tell your friends to like and subscribe. We're talking about rising rent, gentrification, and what's going on here in Dallas. We are specific to Dallas so that Dallas and all around the country, we can know what's going on right here in this city, so that we can have record. We can have data of these things. These are real people that live here really, and see the things. And I found so many interesting articles about this and by different sources. So it's very interesting to research your own city and your own condition within that city.
Yeah. Yeah. Make sure you like it and share it, subscribe. You know, a part of the report, an article that came out said that we got 20,000 short homes. You know, that's like 50 or 60,000 people, you know, that we're talking about in a city of 1.3 million. And we make up a quarter of that. You know, African Americans make up a quarter of that.
Got the worst end of it.
Oh.
The bottom of it. Well, we got to talk to the people. We think we balling. I want you to look in the camera and tell the people did you?
I mean, the median income for Dallas is about 47,000, and then for African Americans, for Black or African Americans, is 37,000. 34,000. I'll take it back. So
that's the rich ones of us, right?
No, I mean the median income, meaning that half is on the top, half is on the bottom. So.
Right, and these are the ones running around talking about we don't need reparations. I'm just saying. I wasn't saying, you know, them is our rich ones, but
yeah,
I struggle to make ends meet. I'm gonna say it like that.
I mean, if 34,000 is the median income, that means you make $17 an hour. That's pretty much where you can gauge people.
Cost 18 and up to maintain a 1-bedroom apartment in the utilities.
Yeah, right. And that's not even including utilities. So if the median income is 34,000, that means that 1 out of every 2 people you see is making above or below $17 an hour.
Right.
Okay. So that is, if the median income for the city is 47,000, that's a whole $7-8 difference that one group is making versus the other group.
Wow, now that's some perspective. Yeah.
So
that's a lot of money. How many of y'all would like to make $8 more than what you're making now? I'm just saying.
For a lot of people, that's double. For a lot of people, that's double.
Right, because of the regulations and policies that keep us in these conditions, you know.
If you make more than $15 an hour, type 1, and if you make less than 15, type 2 in the comment section so we can have some context of who's listening and who's checking this out. So if you make more than 15, comment 1, just like we got an extra viewer. And if you make less than 15, comment 2. We really like to know who our audience is, because Google data doesn't show what you make. It just tells us where you live. So.
Right, and Ryan Murphy, thank you so much. He said, hello, came here from Mr. Adetiba's Facebook page. Listening and taking notes. Thank you for this. You're very welcome. We're happy to be putting some content out there that you can get excited about or learn from or whatever. Like I say, new viewer, we're talking about rising rent, the money crisis, the economic gap here in Dallas. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and share. Please share. So,
I know one more aspect of that report was that it said 60% of the people in Dallas spend over a third of their income on rent. So
60% of Dallas spends over 30% of their income on rent.
And it's obviously not supposed to be over a third of your income, but that's evidence of the shortage of affordable homes. And I'm sure to the end we're going to talk about solutions for that. Absolutely. You know, what you can do, because a lot of people think there's nothing you can do. That's just what rent is. Oh, well, that's just rent.
Not knowing the hands that are playing, you know, letting these things, allowing these things to happen. I wanted to get more into the housing policy so you guys would know what goes into the $20,000 units, affordable housing units that are going to be, that have just gotten approved last Wednesday. There are 3 reinvestment zones. The first one is a redevelopment area, which includes the Redbird Mall area, A redevelopment area is an area that's already under development that would be easier to go ahead and add affordable housing to. So they're already pretty much gentrifying everything over there. So they're going to add in, sprinkle some of us in while they're doing it. Okay, stabilization areas, which include Vickery Meadow and West Dallas, West Dino, West Side. You know, the report let us know what we already know because we have eyes and we can see that it's highly, those two areas, West Dallas and Vickery Meadow, are highly immigrant and minority rich. Those aren't their words, those are mine.
Like who? Who you talking about? Minority.
KERA gave us these facts, by the way, guys. Yeah, West Dallas just did mass evictions, as we all know. They're fighting to, I believe they're still fighting to know what they're going to be doing in transition while everybody's gentrifying and building luxury lofts. We country, do we even like lofts? I know y'all fly civilian, high civilian country folk. I know y'all like lofts. That shit is so impersonal. I need wide open spaces. Just like the Dixie chick. Don't take my black card. Don't take it. Y'all know y'all be listening to this.
I don't listen to the Dixie chick. But, you know, in terms of West Dallas, you said something before we recorded. Big city country? Was what it? Small city country?
Big city country. That's what Dallas is. That's our appeal. I love it. I'm intelligent. I'm very ignorant because it was lead in my water. Lead in the paint chips in my granny house and your granny house. So I'm ignorant, but I'm very intelligent. So it was chips, lead chips. I ain't eat that coming up. You gotta be a little older, you know, that was illegal and stuff. They stopped doing that after. Well, Flint did, Oak Cliff didn't. It's highly unhealthy to drink lead water.
It is.
And we found it in sock water when we were, and for those who don't know what sock is, I know I make city references that y'all don't know what I'm talking about from different areas. Sock is South Oak Cliff High School in the Oak Cliff area of Dallas, Texas. Don't laugh. I got millions of people watching. We got 2 million right now. How y'all doing?
You did have a third one. You did have a third one, but the third person left. So I think we got another question. You want to check out that question?
All right. And we're going to take calls. Y'all want to call in? Because I want to know what problems you've been running into renting here in Dallas.
Yeah. So while she checks out that question, the 3 zones that she's referencing is The three zones she's referencing is a housing policy that the city of Dallas came out with. They was like, how are we going to address the shortage of houses? How are we going to address all these homeless folk and all these people who can't afford these houses and apartments too? It's not just houses. So they came out with a policy and they basically just made an assessment of the whole city, and they basically layered it down to 3 levels: redevelopment area, stabilization area, and what's the other one?
Emerging market areas. And those are areas that's real fucked up that they really have to work hard on. And I know it's 2 o'clock on a Sunday, but I just felt like cussing, and I do apologize.
It's past 4 Central.
Ryan, we didn't forget you.
No, we got you, Ryan. And make sure you share this, Ryan. You the home. I'll be seeing you on Facebook.
Right on.
Okay. So
Ryan said,
go for it.
Ryan, I gotta tell you my story first, and I'm gonna tell everybody what you said, because we so much great minds think alike. Okay, I was saying, who in hell did Dallas hire to pave over these roads? Because me and my 12-year-old son could have did a better job with some Gorilla Glue and playground sand. So Ryan Murphy said, did y'all see how they paved around the cars in Oak Cliff?
Around the what?
They paved around the cars. And you didn't have to move your car. They just pay the area. You don't need that area for driving. Since you park right there, that's your own little nook. Okay. Is what Ryan is telling us. Ryan, they left y'all nooks. That's personalized parking spaces. Don't talk about our city like that, Ryan.
See, there's a service road or frontage road on 20. Basically, when you're leaving out of Hollow Hills, and that's basically what it is, man. I mean, there's 2 lanes before you get onto the on-ramp, and you gotta be on the outside ramp, on the outside lane, in order to get on the highway, because you're on the inside lane, your car's not surviving, okay? You got about a quarter mile of just craziness, okay? And so now you gotta swerve in front of this 18-wheeler, because there's a bunch of 18-wheelers right there when you leave out of Hollow Hills. You gotta swerve in front of this 18-wheeler and maybe make it the on-ramp, and hopefully not get pulled over and explain to the police that you try not to die. So, and then, you call the city hall and you say, hey, these service roads messed up. The city hall say the federal government responsible for the service roads. We responsible for the streets. Now, that ain't some trickery. So that's what that is. So now I guess we got to write the Congresswoman to address this, to say, hey, we need some more funds to fix the infrastructure. We're trying not to die here. So that's the answer, Ryan.
And we need they say the police need proper training. Well, you might need some training before you go pave the streets, because over here off of Northwest Highway in Abrams, the fixing is worse than the original potholes. I don't understand this stuff. But on the street over here in University Park, our very own Lele just walked in. That's why my smile got just a little bit brighter. She's here. The job and all, she is observing Ramadan right now. So y'all give her some respect. Put some respect on it. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she lovely? Why you ain't leave me high? Isn't she one? That's my song. My mama used to sing, but you don't know what they can sing to me. All right, rising reds. I was saying something, that girl walked in, she always be interrupting me. Stay interrupting me.
I'm not going to say what I want to say because I'm fasting from
all of that. She's when we go low, she go high. That's all I'm saying. Hey, Lele's back. Yes, baby. We already talked about the 3 reinvestment zones for Dallas. We're talking about the policy that just passed. I don't know.
Why don't you tell us how you think about what you think about rent out here? You've been out here for several years. Has rent been reasonable for you?
Not at all. Actually, I didn't, because of the rent in Dallas, I actually just moved back to Dallas. Before I'd have been in McKinney, then, and I had to do affordable housing. Couldn't really afford to, they talking about raising the minimum wage, but if they raise that, they're gonna raise everything else. And I don't think that's really gonna help for the people who are at the wage they at right now. When they increase the minimum wage, they'll increase other wages. Regardless, it's still the wage and the price of living do not match. And what I realized in looking for apartments, I was moving in August, and they expensive as hell. To try to get a 2-bedroom for me and my daughter. Matter of fact, I remember looking for a 1-bedroom apartment in a somewhat decent neighborhood was close to almost $900.
So
and it probably was 400 square feet.
It was little. And they were like, well, you get a washer and dryer. And I was like, man, I go to the washing material for all of this.
Put 3 shirts in there.
Wow. I had to learn that you can ask for income restricted apartments, not income based, but you can ask for income restricted apartments. Some apartments have a few apartments inside their building that are actually income based. So basically, if you make under a certain amount of money, then they'll reduce your rent $200 or something like that, so that you can actually afford it and actually make 3 times over the rent. There's an apartment, the Bellevue in downtown, it's so crazy because they nice, but they kind of racist. But
there's a lot of that.
They are
stack folks on top of each
man,
other.
like they'll take housing, but they also have like some income restricted apartments. Without the income restricted, a 2-bedroom is like 2-bedroom, 2-bath is almost $1,000. And with the income restricted, it brings it down to like $730, something like that. Because I mean, people that make $15 an hour, $12.50 an hour, whatever, cannot afford to live in those areas. So they'll some of them will go income restricted, but you gotta ask income restricted. You say income based. They won't even tell you that you have to say income restricted. They'll just tell you, "No, we don't do that," and you basically is it's our rent. This it. You have to ask specifically, and that's crazy.
Thank y'all for tuning in. We're talking about rising rents and the income gap and the things that come from that here in Dallas, so that the world can know what's going on here in Dallas. Right before Lele came in, where she just broke down another part of the housing, the housing policy that just passed last Wednesday, which is giving landlords incentives or making affordable housing within building properties that already exist, basically, and which gives the landlord incentives.
We was actually talking about it's like it's funny that we talked about housing because I mean I didn't know, I'm sure a lot of people knew, but I don't really care too much about Donald Trump, so I don't really follow his life in any kind of way. Like really, I know he had a show, that was about all I know about Donald Trump. I'm gonna be honest.
Right.
But I didn't know that his father actually got his riches from affordable housing, like from making affordable housing for people. Like all of his buildings, and then he borrowed money from his daddy, and it was like, if they we can get paid. I really think that's funny. I think it's funny that you can raise somebody to be with morals and values and try to be something, and then they can just decide that money is more important.
Right.
And in a lot of situations, I think money is more important. We see these areas like where I live, it's like a mix between, not far from here, it's a mix between Lower Greenville, Deep Element, East Dallas. Mm-hmm. That is the funniest area ever because you got the hood right here, you got the artsy area right here, and then you got the money right here, and they all look the same. It don't look different. You got these big houses with no yard, no nothing, across the street, literally, like in the, the street in the neighborhood. And you got the house right next door that's a little sharpshooter house, probably got 2 bedrooms and barely a bath in there. Next to this giant house, this one right here is rare. I seen a building where it was like these stairs, and the stairs on the outside of them was like literally falling apart. It looked like something out of one of them Cuban movies or something like that, where you see it and it's like mud, like a mud building. You know what I'm saying?
I don't watch Cuban movies. I'm sorry.
Like, you know what I'm saying? In any movie,
it was a mud building,
like the maybe I'm saying this bad because it sounds like you know like the Adobe finish and the stuff is not in this country, in other countries, and you see them like where they be at the bar and it's like the little mud hut things. Okay, regardless, this is what it looked like.
Yeah, we know what you mean.
But it's so funny, and they're building all of these condominiums all around it, tearing down these buildings. They building these condominiums that have no amenities. All they got is a garage, and they got this big old thing, and they like $2,000-$3,000 a month to have those, and they building them everywhere. Everywhere you look, they popping up. When I first moved there, it was like a couple of them. That was back in November. It's probably like 5 more all around, and I mean they build them up faster than you can even think, and they can barely even take care of the buildings that they actually have that are already there that people are living in. They look run down, and that people still barely having a hard time, and they the way that they are bringing that area up, and they say it's because it's close to certain things. You got your little stripper bars, and you got your development right here, and you're paying for you're paying for location, and this lady was telling me that her parents owned the house over there, And her mother sold it like way back when they were first trying to start it. She was like, she really wished they would have held out a little longer because they paying people big bucks to take their houses down and build these condos with these garages that are nothing. I'm like, you don't even have a swimming pool, but you spending all of that money. It's not a house.
They're building those in West Dallas too. Those condos or the townhomes that are like 400,000, and it's 3 stories with the garage at the bottom.
You got I mean, they look nice.
In the same area that you listed, West Dallas. And they just built a new one in South Dallas too, right across the street from Dave Middle School.
Say something. South Dallas is so funny to me because South Dallas got a whole, they got bike lanes now and dog parks. And I was like, I was working in South Dallas last year. You be there every day, you see stuff. And I was seeing a bike rider. But he wasn't like the regular dude I see on a bike ride. It was this lady, she was out there in biking shorts. She was so happy. And I was like, where the hell we get a bike lane? And then I started looking around and I was like, it's a whole dog park over here, like where Pan African used to be. I was like,
with a whole blue mural.
Yeah, I was like,
back to blue mural.
Where this come from? I'm like, man, it's crazy to see things literally change right before your eyes.
Nah, baby, they not going to turn down RIP.
Buckeye is no more. It's Buckeye
from
Trails.
back in my day. Fuck a Buckeye Trail out.
Buckeye Trails. Buckeye Trails, nice. I love it. Yes, Buckeye Trails.
The streets that raised me, once I get to a certain point where coming up on the school, H.S. Thompson and all that shit used to be there, I get lost. I don't even know where the fuck I'm at.
They said
then I get to Rochester and I remember where I am again. Man, we gotta do something about this shit.
Now she mentioned like if you make $17 an hour or whatever, you're not gonna make it. Like I was doing the math earlier, if you pay $900 in rent and they say it gotta be 3 times your income, I mean you gotta make $34,000 a year, which is $17 an hour.
But they say that
for 1 bedroom. And not you ain't finding that either, by the way.
That sounds like it. Okay, so they say
you're not finding that.
They say a single parent of one, right? The statistics say that a single parent of one needs to make $22 an hour.
That's what it says.
So
we gonna post the links.
$22 an hour.
So that's $44,000
to maintain, not to be up there.
And interestingly, they say everybody's having it hard in Dallas across the board, you know, as far as how we were doing in the past. Not we, because we always been doing bad. You know, we as a city was doing it first. As compared to how we doing it now. But y'all be making me forget what I was gonna say.
You know,
should we get all these bitches?
You said it. 47,000 is the median income. African American median income, 34,000. So
I'm gonna remember what I was saying.
We rooting for you.
We all rooting for me. I show up. Ryan is a saint, baby. He is faithful. He had said something a while ago too. He said, "Can y'all imagine if they did that kind of stuff in Highland Park?" You know, I did some research. You know, they gentrifying Oak Cliff. Mm-hmm. The guy that founded Oak Cliff, it was 2 guys, and they got into it, and one of the guys went and founded Highland Park. So Highland Park is still thriving today. Oak Cliff, the lost some of its, you know, its vigor. And you know, it's been changed a whole lot over the years. So now they taking it back.
That's funny.
They taking it back. Yeah.
Why y'all here? No, I just laughing because when you said they taking over Oak Cliff, that just made me think. It made me think back to like South Dallas. You know, the Cedar Crest area. This Cedar Crest. That is South Dallas. Like I don't understand where. So this one section is just Cedar Crest.
And they call some of Oak Cliff. They refuse to call it Oak Cliff. Some of it they call South Dallas.
Yeah,
and it's not Oak Cliff. It's huge. And like we were talking, who else talking to?
That's my hood.
It's so many different little hoods inside of Oak Cliff. There are sections that you know.
Oh, your signs though. What's your hood, Oak Cliff? I'm sorry.
We talking about from like Zane all the way to like Blue 12.
Man.
All the way to like.
Speaking of rezoning. Speaking of rezoning and redistricting.
Who that?
Speaking of what they doing right now, gentrifying, gerrymandering, and rezoning and redistricting, how y'all done messed up Oak Cliff like that? It is a bunch of little different hoods in there. They not the same as when I came up. I used to own the hood. Now I don't even know where I'm at when I go over there.
It's like 12,000.
I used to own Oak Cliff. Y'all ain't know that? Ask around. Ask some Sheedah maids. That's it.
They moved.
They old and had they children and moved to the suburbs, honey.
Yes. No, that's funny because I graduated from Richardson High School. I think I did like a couple of shows ago. Like everybody that moved to Richardson, never, you know, they didn't grow up in Richardson. When we got to high school, every parent was like, "Oh, I'm gonna send we're gonna go to Richardson because it's gonna be so much better, right?" My mama didn't want me to go to Lake College because she said, I don't want you getting fights and stuff like that. You're still gonna be RISD, you go to Richardson High School. I was like, man, I got the most trouble at Richardson and I could have got it at Lake College because Richardson got South Oak Cliff kids, they got Pleasant Grove kids, they got because every parent had the same idea, and I thought that was so funny. Like they always like, we're gonna give our children a better life. We're gonna put them all together and let them defend for themselves.
Yeah. Here you are.
I just left a whole bachelorette at Richardson.
How was that?
It was long as hell. It's still going up.
I'm not going to watch nobody else graduate. When Braylon graduate from homeschool, we just gonna throw his head up in the air and go out to eat. The fun part, the loving memories that we share.
Yeah, that's like the best time in life. And I was looking at all the kids, and I was stuck because some kids was going to the military and the Marines, and they got up. Everybody stood up and they clapped, and I was like, man, that sucks. Like I clapped, but I was like, damn, like you just like your life literally be over like next year. It sucks. Like when you think about that, and then a lot of them doing it because. Get back to the subject, they are going to the military, they're going to all of this stuff because that's how their families grow up poor a lot of times. Mm-hmm. Or their family was in the military and nobody talked about the fact that dad really got PTSD. Nobody's talking about the fact that he really is messed up. But we got this house because daddy was in the military. Daddy doing okay because he was in the Marines. Daddy doing all right. Mama doing all right because of this. But then when we was feeding the homeless, like, so many of them that are on the street cannot even afford the cost of living, cannot do anything because they mental is so messed up that they can't go out and keep a job. If they actually homeless, that you know, and then we talking about building all these condominiums and stuff like that, and the shelters don't have enough room. Or the fact that they were supposed to be building these little homes. It took them like 12,000 years to do these little homes, and we got 50 of them.
A long time.
50. It's cheaper to house them in those little homes than it is to put them in prison. But yet, what do? We take them out of tent city. We take them out of the places where they actually are good in. Like, I hate to talk about them like they're separate people, like they not humans like we are. But the homeless population, like, and really, technically, homeless is not just not having a home to live in. A lot of us that are living, if you're not in a single family home, if you stay in, your auntie stay there too, your granny stay there, and your cousins is there too, because it's cheaper for y'all all to live together. Technically, by the definition of homelessness, you are homeless. And it's not to defeat nobody, but we have to get like, that's what the definition of it really, to us in the black mind is we trying to grow and all of this stuff, you know, it's communal living. We're trying to, you know, get better and build the community. But honestly, we're not doing it because we think in the community living. We're doing it because we have to. Because we have nothing else. You know what I'm saying? And then people talk so much, especially about single mothers. oh, she just on housing, oh, da 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 da. You know how many women I know that are on housing that work their ass off and they gotta be on housing because nobody just wants to just work, pay bills, and that's it for life.
Half the ones that's talking about they need to get rid of housing is on housing themselves, and they're so embarrassed.
Or living off somebody that's on housing.
No, they own it. Cause I done seen them down there at the office. We had an appointment on the same day. Don't start that shit.
I mean, the numbers are clear. If you spend, I mean, if we know rent is this number, and we know that you make this number, and we know that you don't got enough to pay, so you gotta be getting something from somewhere. Whether it's your credit card, whether it's your mama paying your phone bill, whether it's your uncle, like you said, is in the military, so you're getting his benefits, and you gotta worry about that. Like, you ain't got a lot to kick it. You can keep it real, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are lying to kick it.
And this is where it turns into what do we do? And we don't like to talk about politics, and I'm highly irritated by Dallas politics because it has proven to be very corrupt. But most of our any prosperity that we have is due to a government program. As we were talking about before the show started, people making good money working their asses off, but they still need a government program to get that home that they want.
Mm-hmm. Down payment assistance, community revitalization act, like there's all kind of programs.
I'll be honest, I'm trying to do Habitat for Humanity right now.
Habitat for Humanity, like
it's a wonderful program, and it to think about renting. You renting something that's not gonna belong to you. You know what I'm saying? That every year you live there, they going up on. Ain't no loyalty program. Ain't no, you've been here 10 years. We gonna keep your rent like this. No, and then you got it sucks because then new people move into your building on they getting these move-in specials. Mm-hmm. So they rent cheaper than your rent. You've been there for the past 3 years. You're not getting nothing but an increase on your stuff. And every year, everybody talk, man, I gotta find me a new place to live because now I want this move-in special because hell, I can't afford to live here no more, and I've been here.
No regulations, rent going up $300 and $400 with no upgrades to the apartment. Some of these apartments can't sustain the changes themselves. People ain't going to pay for that. They got some condos over here, or flats. They're townhomes. Sorry, over here at Lower Greenville area. The bathroom, the kitchen, the living room, and the den all in the same damn room. But they got new appliances though.
Mm-hmm. Studio.
$1,400 a month. 2-bedroom with everybody in the same room, really with some shit mixed up.
Let me tell y'all, it's some apartments in Richardson called Francis Way. I put the names out there.
What's the name out there? Detail, baby. We need to know.
It's called Francis Way. Okay, Francis Way is basically the projects of Richardson. Let's go and keep it 100.
Right there on Walnut.
It's like Beltline and not Beltline. It's not far from Plano Road, and it's not far from Beltline either. I can't think of what that street is.
Walnut.
It's not Walnut. Girl, it's in Richardson.
It's Wall. It's called Wall. No, it's called Walnut.
No, it is not. Where's somebody's phone? Because my phone from that. Let me show this real fast. So I can put this. I know
it's on Walnut. It's Plano Road, probably. I used to pass by them apartments.
Where your Gmail, your mapping? Here we go. Let me pull this up. Because Sheedah think because she older than me,
she know the house
that she know everything. She don't know squally diddly do because I can't cuss right now.
That's it.
I built this show. I said one.
Okay.
We do what we want.
Okay.
I want to take some calls, but Ryan the only one on the line.
Francis Way, Richardson, Texas.
Ryan, you want to call?
Yeah,
Blink once for yes, but twice for no. Just kidding. But you can call in if you want to, if you have anything you would like to add.
Oh, but what I was saying about these apartments before Sheedah started talking about this
469-998-2002. Call in if you want to talk. 469-998-2000.
Don't even show me too.
A lot
Regardless. Oh, go ahead. Let me sorry. I just want to finish that. So what I was saying about Francis Way was the fact that Francis Way, mostly everybody lived in there was on housing. Run down apartments, I'm talking about like beat up from the front to the carpet coming up. Everybody had ants. The whole bunch of terrible apartments. I would never get in the pool over there because the water was never nothing other than green. Regular apartments. And they got under new management. And I never forget when they went under new management. Because they kicked everybody out that was on housing. We want to bring in we're going to turn these apartments upside down. They ain't done shit but raise the rent and kick out everybody. I don't know if anybody live over there and how much longer they're going to even be able to sustain that, because that is bull. They always, we finna get rid of the housing apartments. We finna keep all, just keep, hell, they're the only people that want to live there. And the only reason they live there is because even the fact that they got housing, sure, when people get nice apartments on housing, they ain't leaving them. They staying there. So
I know I ain't going nowhere. My apartment is a nice price. It's within the city limits. I can afford it. I'm staying. And my landlord has let me know that she don't really increase rent often. So I was one of the lucky ones.
And look at that, where when you get somewhere, you get comfortable, it's not expensive, stuff like that. Yeah, you gonna stay. You gonna stay, and you gonna stay until I lived in the projects in McKinney, and they tell you it's hard to get on there because people stay there forever. Generations. They use it the way that they like it. In the East Dallas projects, perfect example. They shut them down, tore them down, built new ones. You talking about generations, man. I went over to one of my mentees' grandmother's house. I went to her grandma's house because her mama wasn't home yet. Her mama stayed around the corner. Her auntie stayed around the other corner. Her uncle stayed there with her granny. They all had been living there since the projects was back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Probably really since the 80s.
I mean, when you look at like investing from like an investment standpoint, the reason why investors do that, like kick out people on housing, really because they can. If you got enough people who come into a city or to an area who can afford $1,200 and you paying $900, that's an real easy decision. And that person, of course, being how greedy he is, that person's not gonna think about the personal effect that's gonna have on a whole person, let alone a whole freaking community of people. You know what I'm saying? So they do that in Dallas and elsewhere because you got all these people come from California, from Chicago, from Florida, who's moving to Dallas, and they're like, man, things are cheap over here. I can pay $1,300 for one bedroom, 900 square feet. I can do that. Shoot, 700 square feet. They paying twice. Yeah, they're paying twice that much. You know what I'm saying? So they come here and they see that, and investors see that, and they take advantage of that. And a lot of people think there's nothing you can do. And this is why I like this show, because there is a lot of stuff you can do as a tenant, even though you're just a renter and you don't have ownership. Fortunately, there's a lot of things you can do, and that's be active in your politics and advocate for there to be some type of restriction. Whether you live in a house and your taxes increasing, you can say, I want a tax abatement zone where my taxes are from. Whether you a tenant, you can say, we only require developers to, increase your rent by this amount per year.
Right.
In exchange for like room upgrades or housing upgrades, something like that. But if people don't organize and we just lie to each other all day and we all don't know that we are going to do the same thing, then we're not going to do anything about it.
Yeah, we got to stop that. I maintained since I was young, but I'm broke as fuck. And I always
She was 7. She was 7 talking about, I'm broke.
I was real like that at a very young age. And, I found it so curious that all the poor people would laugh at me. I'm talking about really laugh. They thought that shit was funny.
I always heard, because if anybody know me, boy, let me tell you something. How I floss and what I be thinking is to tell you that how much I pay for something, like real cheap. I love
Yes! Yes.
I be so excited. Let me tell you
shocked.
something. I wore this shirt to work one time and I got compliments. I said, ooh, about this for 99 cents. Girl said, you don't tell nobody. Why not?
They look at you differently when they find out you paid 99 cents.
And I'm gonna tell you where I got it from. I be so happy. This fossil watch was free. But like, let me tell you something. I be so excited when people be like, don't tell nobody where you got that from. Don't share that information. We have to share all of that information for the simple fact that I don't care if you wear the same exact outfit as me. You're not gonna rock it like me. You're not gonna be me. You're not gonna be me in it. So I don't care if you go out and get that. We gotta stop thinking about that little petty stuff. Let's say my rent is cheap and it actually is affordable. You looking for somewhere to live, but I don't want you to live where I'm living. I'm not. Yeah.
You got still appliances. Ain't nobody getting your stuff.
No, I'm keeping that to myself. Got a full walk-in closet, 2-bedroom, living large. Baby, you're not gonna know none of that. And I'm not gonna tell you the fact that the reason that I can afford it is because I asked for income restricted. You know what I'm saying? I tell people that all the time. I got friends, I'm looking for apartments. Apartments so expensive. Income restricted. Income restricted. Any information that I get, if you know me, I'm gonna give it to you off top. I keep flyers in my car because it's something I learned. Like when I learned about the whole homeless school, being homeless. There's so much that you can do that the schools is actually supposed to help you with for your kids. Things like that. That if you are in transition, if you live in a 2-family household and stuff like that, and let's say you do move, you're in transition, you finally found somewhere, you finally got on housing, something like that, right? And you move, your child don't have to leave that school that they at. DISD will actually work with the other school district or wherever you live, and they will bus your child to school every day and every night, every time. And you have to tell them that you are in transition. It's a lady, I cannot think of her name, but the next show will make sure that I bring in information regardless of what we're talking about, because it's stuff like that we need to make sure that we stay up on, because we so quick to, we got to move over here, and our kids have to, because we cannot afford certain things. We move and we have to do things to be best for our family, but yet that affects our kids in all types of different ways. Moving from city to city, moving from apartment to apartment. Every time the rent go up, we can no longer afford it. Our kids got to make new friends. Our kids got to adjust. That's a lot that they got to go through. Now where they was cool in school, and maybe your child wear garb and they accept your child wearing her garb. She goes to a new school, they bougie and they making fun of her. You know what I'm saying? We have to think about our kids in those situations too, and it's actually a lot of resources that we do not know about. And the reason we don't know about it is because the people that know about it ain't gonna tell us about it.
And sometimes we gotta jump through too many hoops just to get simple shit. You gotta fill out a book full of applications or sheets of paper. Tell them how your mama doing and your grandmama doing and how much gas you got in your tank, and if you got $15 right now. So a lot of times we don't deal with it because we don't feel like all of that. But there are programs. I mean, hell yeah, it's gonna fuck with your pride. By the 15th page, you like, fuck it, I ain't hungry no more. Shit.
I don't want that bowl of tomatoes. No, I mean, you gotta arm yourself with information and data, and when you arm yourself with that, you're gonna operate completely different. And when we share that amongst each other, we realize I'm actually in the majority of people who are in the situation. Y'all can actually do something about it. You can be like, nah, if you're gonna build a freaking 1,000-unit high-rise loft apartment, half of these units gotta be below $1,500 a month. God damn it. You can't be charging them $2,000 a month. And we see that we got 5,000 people in this area who only make $15, $20 an hour. Like, that's stuff we can actually do. And some places do. But if you're sitting there watching the royal wedding, you're not gonna know about that. And you're not gonna talk to your friends about your situation. And you're just gonna front. So that's an excellent point you made, man. When you arm yourself with that information, you can go in there, wreck and shop. Income restricted, they're like, excuse me? Income restricted.
Let me tell you something, and then don't
y'all accept that here or not.
Don't let the person that you're talking to be like, I don't know what it is, but can you speak to somebody who do know what it is?
Yeah.
And you can literally ask, and it took me a minute because about that whole pride thing. Like, even just asking, I'm not going up there. I'm gonna call them on the phone to see if they got it. You know what I'm saying? Cause you pass by the whole department, I'm gonna call them because I don't need them to know who I am and even ask. Let me say something about some of the things. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Do y'all do income restricted?
Y'all take food stamps?
Do y'all have any income restricted apartments?
Good job.
Oh yeah, we actually have. They be like, yeah, we actually have about 2 units. When are you trying to move?
Now.
And I'm like, let's say I got 2 months. Oh, actually, that'd be great because we actually have some people that's moving out next month, and we'll be ready by then.
Right.
And ask those questions. They'll be like, no, we don't have them right now. When will you have some? Do you have
saving them for their friends?
Yes.
It's a 6 months waiting list.
You know it. That homegirl Becky, you know she know about it.
Say something. I got into the business.
Playing games right.
And
everybody needs.
I went to go and I was actually supposed to be getting my key to move in, right? And my actual move-in day. And the lady told me, oh yeah, you make too much now. What you mean I make too much? But I spoke to you last week and everything was cool and I was accepted. They had to add some money onto my income that I did not have. I was making $12.50 an hour. But when I was making $12.50 an hour, I was being paid salary. And so I didn't get, everybody gets like 2 extra paychecks a year or whatever. So they added that into that, and I was like, no, I think I was getting $24,000 a year, and I was like, that's it, no less, no more. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, nah, because you're supposed to be getting 26, something like that. And I was like, no, this is it. And I actually had my manager call and explain to everything. The lady called me and said, you don't have your manager call us. And I don't do what? Excuse me?
Said true.
But somebody moved into that apartment though, because I got people live over there, so I know. Their manager friend moved in. And it be people like that, like we be thinking, oh, they're gonna be professional because they are in a professional environment. No, ratchet is as ratchet does, and ratchet gonna be ratchet wherever ratchet is. You gotta ask these questions and keep asking. You have to be specific in what you want. If they say no, we don't have any right now, well, when you have any, because you have these availabilities, do I have a month? You know what I'm saying? Or even if you be like, nah, we don't have none for the next rent don't go up for another 6 months. Cool. Maybe I'll stay here for a little bit longer, and can I go ahead and put my deposit down now and move in 6 months? Like, you have to ask, you gotta be proactive, not reactive. So they let you do that? I don't know, but I'm just saying it don't hurt to ask.
Make some shit up.
You know what I'm saying? Don't let me lie to y'all. But I'm telling you to ask. All I can say is no. You can get a yes or you can get a no. Yeah. No only means that you keep going till you get a yes. Right. That's it.
We don't have no choice. So we're getting on towards our time since the queen Lele just got in. We're gonna let her have her final thoughts, and we're going around that way, this way. The final thoughts.
All right.
That way.
My final thoughts is I'm so glad that they started the show off and that I can piggyback off their thoughts to have something to say. No. Because they start getting into actual policies and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know that. I know the questions of what I asked.
We know where we live and what we
nah,
we are the statistics.
We have to be proactive. And what I mean by that is you have to look into some stuff. You have to ask some questions. Like, shout out to my best friend for being who he is, because the fact that he even ran for city council, he is looking into so many things. Like, we need more affordable housing, and he did that while living in the projects. So that shows you that you got people that'll fight for you, but we have to get people that will fight for us and that understands the struggle. And I don't want nobody that is working for me in South Dallas that lives in the new gentrified part of South Dallas, is living in a high rise. Living in Cedar Creek. I don't want nobody. I need my South Dallas to be living where they landlord is also shady. You know what I'm saying? Where they had a couple busted pipes and stuff like that. Like, that's what
8-leg chips.
Yeah.
We catch up on them.
You know what I'm saying? We need people, and we have to advocate for ourselves. If some of y'all feel that strongly about it, run, and let's get some people that's actually.
Let's talk before you run. I need to know where your head.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
policies and policies.
Yeah, let's get together. Like, I'm saying, if this is something that you really think strongly about, I was trying to finish, but actually get with some people. Y'all decide, man, hey, he actually the best one for it. Maybe he really don't know everything, but he speaks the most. He is the most articulate of the bunch. All right, so let's actually talk about it. How we gonna discuss this? How we gonna execute it or whatever? But we have to sit at the table. Even when they do Monday Night Politics, be there. Even you don't know what the hell they talking about, just listen. Google some stuff while they talking.
Yeah, pay attention to the detail because that's what we need. We are the details.
We gotta know this
and leave out.
We have to, in order to eat, you gotta be at the table. If you're not at the table, you can't complain about being hungry if there was an invitation for you to be at the table and you decline. Mm-hmm. So be there, show up, and keep tuning in because we're gonna keep talking about some stuff. We're gonna keep bringing people in and know some stuff, and we really gonna make sure that we give y'all something. This is not just a show that women come on and talk about sex and men. Yeah, no, we ain't gonna get no ratings until we do, but we love you. We gonna keep on doing this program and kind of teach us something. So this is me and Sheedah thoughts. But I'm gonna let Bab go ahead and speak.
Cause Bab knows some things, don't he?
Yes.
Yeah. So much for final thoughts, right? No, I'm glad to be invited on the show and give my perspective as someone who's in real estate and to let people know that you do have power as a tenant. And even if you're not a tenant, even if you're homeless, you do have power. And it just requires us to get into the game. We got to get into the game. And once you realize that everyone else around you is in a similar situation, then maybe it can empower you to do something about it. So I'm glad to be on the den and glad Ryan.
Yeah, that's our friend. He said he shared and he said he liked the show and he looked fun. Let me tell you what he said. I was commenting.
Yeah, read that last comment.
He said, great show. I am subscribed and looking forward to future shows. Gonna go back and listen to y'all's older shows too. I already shared. Thank y'all. That's a text when he said y'all about 5 times. I love you, Ryan.
Ryan, don't judge me because now that I'm fasting that I'm not on here cussing and doing other things.
We love Lele for her depth.
You might see a whole new Lele on the
He gonna be like, she is so sweet. He gonna go and be like, what is this?
See Rockstar Lele next time. Next Rockstar week in Dallas. They have a pink mohawk.
Now let me give a disclaimer though before I pass on my thoughts. Ryan, I know you followed because of me, but let me say that I am not in those other episodes. So the quality
it's gonna be better when you watch the back show. Thank you for pointing that out. We appreciate you so much.
I love it.
Bab always keep us hyped. He is on a lot of the shows in the comment section. Clowning and boycotting. Yeah, he boycotted Lele first. He did. He thought he was the first man on the show. Don't they always think they the first? But let me quit talking crazy. Keep on these bitches. We're gonna see y'all next week. And we'll tell y'all what the topic and the time is because y'all know how we do. Colored people's time. See y'all later.
It's